Okay. In these extraordinary times, like tonight, I'd like to invite you to the January 26th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. All right, let's talk. Let's have appeal number 2020-35.
Well, Mr. Chairman, as you may recall, I had asked the board to reopen a case on 4 Nautical Drive, which the board approved at the last meeting, and I believe that the property owner, Mr. Papadopoulos, was able to put up the signs. The town was able to post the setbacks, and they're here tonight in case anybody wants to ask them questions. I believe somebody's here on behalf of Papadopoulos.
Step up to the
So why don't you
plate.
step up and get sworn in?
No, that plate.
Oh,
You never played baseball before, huh? Just pull the microphone down by you. Be
Good
sure to
evening.
tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I will.
State your name and your address.
My name is George Nanaro, 126 Lincoln Road. I'm here on Emmanuel Papadopoulos at 4 Nautical Drive.
So I believe you were the contractor on the job,
Yes, I am.
and you constructed a new house? Was there a house on there, or was it a
It was an
vacant
old
lot?
house, but we removed it and built a brand-new house.
Okay, so when you came for a variance, or they came for a variance a couple of years ago? I
Yes.
don't remember. But we granted you a variance, certain setbacks, but now, because the house was built, they don't meet all the setbacks that were granted a couple of years ago, and that's why it has to be reheard tonight.
That's correct.
So do you know of any other problems that may exist?
It's just the stairs.
setbacks
Yeah, it's the
and-
setback on the stairs, yep.
Okay, and the sign was posted, of course. and
Sign was posted.
We have all the final surveys here. So, Mr. Chairman,
Let's have a reading.
well, do you want to see if anybody else wants to say anything on it?
Anyone else
Since
to
it's
be
been reopened?
heard on this?
Okay, well, then I move the appeal of 2020-35, which was reopened at the previous meeting, for Emmanuel Papadopoulos for 4 Nautical Drive, Riverhead, tax map number 600-14-123, which was originally granted on October 8th, 2020, and reopened on January 12th. Be changed to include the proposed exterior stair setback of 4.5 feet and approved for as-built conditions as with the survey that's depicted in the file, and proposed setbacks for the initial ZBA application. The side and front yard differences are only 1 or 2 inches off, and that was originally granted, be approved as so.
second.
Okay. Mrs. Lewinsky.
Aye.
Mr. Gazillo.
Aye.
Mr. Barnes.
Aye.
And I vote aye. So the appeal's been granted, and off you go.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Good night, thank you, have a good night.
Appeal 2022-047, Shari Kai, 111 2nd Street, Jamesport, Suffolk County, tax map number 600-92-6-1, RB40 zoning, for variances and/or relief from Town Code Chapter 301-15A1B, where proposed 43.3-foot side accessory setback, minimum allowed 50 feet, Chapter 301-15A1C, where proposed 5-foot rear accessory setback, minimum allowed is 20 feet, and Chapter 301-14, where habitable space in an accessory structure not incidental to or customarily found in a single-family dwelling, adjourned from January 12th, 2023.
Anybody here on this?
Were you sworn in?
I believe not.
Nobody was hurt in this meeting.
This was a meeting.
Then raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State your name and your address.
Sure. Anthony Portillo, architect, 10200 Main Road, Mattituck, 11952.
You got the floor.
All right. I want to apologize for not being here last time. Some miscommunication. So we're proposing to build a new garage on the lot currently, the lot currently has, or the building or lot currently has an older garage structure that's on Green Street. From our drawings, you can see it's about 3 feet from Green Street property line. And we're proposing to remove that garage. It's been there a very long time, and build the new garage that would be fronting Second Street. First off, I think that's Second Street is more of the less traffic street. It's going down to a dead end there, where Green Street has a little bit more traffic. It's kind of the main street on the corner lot. The idea is to build a 25 by 35 foot garage with area above that my client does plan in the future to come to Riverhead Building Department and request an accessory apartment. We have filed for the half bathroom. We filed with the health department, put in a new sanitary system dedicated to this building. So obviously, from the code, we have to build the structure and then wait 3 years and then apply for the accessory apartment. So this is the structure that we're proposing.
Did the health department approve it yet?
No, sir, we submitted early January, so we're just waiting for.
So it's pending?
It's pending, yes.
Okay.
So I believe, and we believe that this structure is less obtrusive than the original garage that's there. And also us removing that structure, I think, takes it off of that street front, Green Street. So that is our proposal. If you have any questions, we can answer.
So one of the things that I have a problem with and what's been going on is how the building department has been writing their denial letters and saying that accessory structure is not a customary use for residential use. And they put it in every single denial letter that there is. And I think the town board legally, or I should say legislatively, should deal with this in some way or another. So we're taking on some language that will change that.
Okay,
And we're gonna not rule on this case tonight.
okay,
We're gonna adjourn it for 2 weeks.
okay,
And there'll be certain language that's gonna be put in it to clarify what has been said in all of these denial letters.
understood.
We're hoping that's what's gonna happen. That's based on what our legal counsel is telling us what we should be doing. So,
And to your point, I filed a few of these. I was here on another client of mine on Second Street. We did a new garage with the intentions of doing an accessory above, and we had the same objection in our denial letter. So, and I guess, I brought the question up to the building department as well, because it's pretty clear in the code that the accessory apartment's it's allowed, and it's allowed in a new building if you build the building, wait, and then,
wait 3 years.
right, and then apply for it. So that's how I explain that to my clients, and, so I didn't,
Well, it's nice that it's all up front,
yeah,
and we all know what you're doing. A lot of
Sure.
people just say it's gonna be storage, and they're not telling the truth.
yeah.
So-
I mean, I guess, I'll give you my opinion since we're talking about it. Maybe we should show the accessory apartment up front and then maybe there's some note saying this is approved in 3 years from now or something, right? Because
Well-
we are calling it storage and it's kind of strange, right?
We wouldn't be doing the approval, only the accessory board can do the approval. That's the way it's written in the statute.
Understood.
That language needs to be amended or changed in some way
Sure,
so that everybody knows what the clear intentions are of the public and what they're building.
sure.
So in this particular case, if there's nobody else going to be heard, I was going to make a motion to adjourn this. But we want to make sure to see if anybody else has anything to say about it.
All right, anyone else on Zoom to be heard on this matter?
No.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I respectfully request that we adjourn 2022-47 for 111 Second Street, Jamesport, to the February 9th meeting.
Second.
Mr. Gazillo?
Aye.
Mr. Bonds?
Aye.
Mrs. Zawiski?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So we'll see you guys next meeting.
Sure. Just to, I'm sorry, just so I understand correctly, we're gonna receive something prior to the meeting.
That I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not part of the administrative staff that deals with this stuff.
Okay,
So, there may be some thought about doing,
Check in with the town
you got it.
before the meeting.
Okay, thank you, board. Have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, Appeal 2022-049, Tomcat Realty Holdings LLC, 901-932 Scott Avenue, Calverton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-135.20-01-01 PIP zoning for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301-186B10, where 85.8% of the required parking is located within the front yard. Maximum is 25%. Chapter 301-186B10, where parking within the front yard is 15 feet from the south property line. Minimum required is 25 feet. Chapter 301-259D1, exterior lighting, where building-mounted lights at 25 feet and pole-mounted lights at 35 feet. Maximum permitted is 16 feet. And Chapter 301-259D2, where proposed exterior lighting will trespass onto adjoining property not permitted.
Are you an attorney?
I play one on TV too, yes. John Zola. Good evening.
Just your name and your address.
Appearance on behalf of the applicant. My name is John Bizzolo, 12 Manor Road, Smithtown, New York, attorney on behalf of the applicant. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm here on behalf of Tomcat Holding Realties LLC and Peter E. Williams Jr., who's the principal. This is for a proposed 60,000 square foot. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
60-foot building, 60,000 square foot building at 901 Scott Avenue in Calverton. Tax map number 600-135.21-1. I have tonight, besides the owner Peter Williams and also an IT guy who you met previously, I have Rob Stromsky, the architect of Stromsky Architects, who's worked with Young & Young on the proposed site plan and whose office submitted the variance application. In addition, the owner of the building, Peter Williams, is present. After I do a brief introduction, describe the application and what we're looking for this board, Rob Stromsky will be here to walk you through the project if you have any additional questions. The relief being sought tonight is similar to the relief granted for 301 Scott Avenue. That's Eastern Wholesale Fence, and that's Peter Williams. Also, we were here before this board in December of 2018, seeking certain variances. It was both Peter Williams, Rob Stromsky, and me who appeared before this board. That was Caps Realty Holdings. I mention that because two of the variances tonight that we're seeking were identical to the variances that were granted for the Caps Realty Holding of 301, specifically with respect to the height of the lights on the building and the poles, and with respect to the trespassing of light on adjoining properties. The nature of the variances are for with respect to parking in the front yard, the 85.8% of required parking located in the front yard, when a maximum of 25% is permitted, and then also parking within front yard 15 feet from the south property line, where the minimum required is 25 feet. So there was a staff report done by the planning department with respect to the site plan that was submitted. That was in November 18, 2022, regarding the site plan application. And as I told you, my client's looking to construct a 60,000 square foot building for warehousing, manufacturing, offices, and also there will be demolishing the existing building of 14,256 square feet. And if Mrs. Ramsey has the plan, you have the...
I'm going to put this on an easel.
I think
We have one here, Rob.
I think we have that. I just wanted you to have the plan so you can kind of see where the existing building is and where the proposed new building is going to be. You might have the plans in front of you over there. Thank you, Rob. As you can see, there's a proposed 60,000 square foot building, which is kind of towards the north east section of the building, property, and then towards the, that would be northwest, sorry, northeasterly is where the existing building is, towards the front. So what proposed, the application is to build a 60,000 square foot building, and while you're during the construction, keep the existing building so it can be used during that period of time. As the staff went through the report, just an overview of the site is 14.5364 acres, and it was lot 27 of the Camelot subdivision, which was approved in 2006. The property is located in the Planning Industrial Park, PIP zoning district, which permits manufacturing, warehousing, and office. Outdoor storage is also permitted as an accessory use. In the surrounding area, you have United Metro Fueling Station, which is located on the south, and the steel and aluminum fabrication site is directly across on Scott Avenue. Other uses within the park include Riverhead Building Supply, which is for construction materials, warehouse, storage, and millwork site, and Eastern Wholesale Fence. My client purchased this property in 2020 with the intention of building this new building for storage, warehouse, and in relation to his existing business, the Wholesale Fence. The prior use of this building was for manufacturing of automobile mufflers, catalytic converters, metal fabrication, and welding. As this board might know, the western portion of the parcel, sometime around 2017, was cleared to create dirt trails and was being operated as an illegal motocross track, with portions of the trails encroaching into the southeast corner of 1001 Scott Avenue, as well as some of the property owned by the town of Riverhead. The subject parcel is also within the Pine Barrens compatible growth area. As a consequence of being in that growth area, there's limitations on clearing. A certain area has to remain in its vegetative state. This property is subject to having 305,000 square feet remain in its natural state. My client intends to, and has been discussed with us during the site plan process, restoring the illegally cleared portions by letting the property revegetate and get back to its natural state, and that would take care of all the buffering area and the compatible growth area. On December 6, 2022, the town board, by resolution number 2002-857, classified the site plan application of Tomcat Really Holdings as a type 1 action pursuant to SECRA and requested lead agency status. As a result, the proposed site plan was submitted, and the building permit application was also submitted, and denied. The variances are here because of the denials that were received. The variance for front yard parking is being made for several reasons. It has to do with the placement of the proposed one-story building on the property towards the rear of the site, while allowing the current building located towards the front of the southern portion of the property to remain temporarily. Also, by having parking in the front of the building, it helps the applicant to make certain that they do not disturb the natural vegetated area towards the west. It is also submitted that the requested parking variances in the front yard are consistent with surrounding properties. In addition, the request for the variances with respect to parking within the front yard of 15 feet rather than the required 25 feet to the south, once again makes sense for the site and works with overall traffic flow. This request takes into consideration the existing 14,000 square foot building on the property. Request for exterior mounted lights, as I indicated previously, is consistent with prior grants from this board, specifically with respect to 301 Scott Avenue. We're looking for mounted lights of 25 feet in height on the building and 35 feet on the poles. It's identical to the relief that was requested previously on 301 Scott Avenue. This is based upon the size of the site, the heavy equipment being operated on the property, the location of the building, and the fact that there will be outside storage on the site with increased heights for the light is necessary and required. This will have no adverse effect on the surrounding properties. With respect to parking, we're not here for parking variances, but I just mentioned to you that we will have, required as 111 stalls, we will have 113 stalls, 77 stalls will be installed, and 36 will be land banked. As the balancing test with respect to the town law, it's submitted that the application will not produce an adverse effect on adjacent properties. This is an industrial park. What's proposed is consistent with surrounding properties, as well as consistent with prior precedents of this board. The outdoor storage area within the front yard setback will be screened by a chain link fence and evergreen screen buffer, as is done at 301 Scott. The variance is not substantial considering the proposed use. The project is located in the industrial park where outdoor storage is common. Lighting on the property and the industrial parks need to provide sufficient and adequate lighting to be both functional, provide for security in the premises, and just be practical. The applicant intends to maintain the existing operations in the current building during construction. The existing utility easements on the property require the proposed building to be placed where it is on that plan. This placement requires more parking to be located in the front yard. Light poles need to be higher to accommodate large equipment, as I said previously. Also, you might notice on the plans, there's an indication which says drainage easement. I'm bringing this to your attention just so you're aware of it. The drainage easement was put on the subdivision map back in 2006. It's not a described easement, it's not a recorded easement, it's just on the subdivision map. It basically follows the natural flow or grade of water on the property. There is no infrastructure or piping in the area. So, I bring it to your attention because we are in the process, we're meeting with the town probably next week to discuss that, because there's two other properties that deal with this drainage easement, and we're hoping to be able to move that on the site as where it is currently situated. It's the southern portion of the building, but it doesn't affect this application. It doesn't affect anything. If for some reason the town says we want that drainage easement, again, keep in mind, it's not a described easement. There's no piping, there's nothing. It's just something that was part of the subdivision application. If we had to move the building north, it would not affect any of the variances that we're seeking tonight. So I still believe that this board has the ability, and I know it has the ability to grant the variances that we're seeking. So that's basically the overview of the application. And I have Rob Stromsky here if you have any specific questions on anything else regarding the plan. But I think that what we have on the proposed site plan and for the variances we're seeking, I don't believe they're substantial. I think that they're modest considering the size of the building that's being worked on and the overall size of the site. And Peter Williams, Eastern Wholesale Fence, has a good reputation and a good record in the community and the industrial park. So unless anyone has any questions for me or Rob Stromsky, I would say thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your presentation, it was very good. We've seen this property many times here for other variances as well. I don't see any problem with the height, only because it's an industrial park, it's not going to affect any residential properties. So, me personally, I have no issues.
I have no problems either.
Anybody else?
Anyone else to be heard on this matter? No one.
Who has to read it?
I got it. I respectfully move that the appeal number 2022-049, Tomcat Realty Holdings LLC, 901-903 Scott Avenue, Calvin, SCTM number 600-135.20-1-1 PIP zoning for variances and/or relief from Town Codes Chapter 301-186B, Subdivision 10, where 85.8% of the required parking is located when the front yard maximum is 25%. Chapter 301-186B10, where parking when the front yard is 15 feet from the south property line, minimum required is 25 feet. Chapter 301-259D1, exterior lighting with building-mounted lights at 25 feet and pole-mounted lights at 35 feet. Maximum permitted is 16 feet. And Chapter 301-259D2, where proposed exterior lighting will trespass onto adjoining property not permitted, be approved in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Second.
Mr. Zawiski.
Aye.
Mr. Gazillo.
Aye.
Mr. Bonds.
Aye.
I vote aye. So the appeal has been granted.
Mr.
Thank
Zolo,
you very much.
always
Nice
a
to see you.
pleasure. Take care of yourself.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Appeal 2023-002, Paula J. Constantini, 25 Perry Place, Riverhead, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-110-2-11, RA 40 zoning for variances and/or relief from Chapter 301-11, where proposed front setback is 32 feet 9 inch, minimum required is 50 feet, and Chapter 301-11, to reduce existing impervious surface from 43.5% to 42%, which exceeds the allowable 30%.
And if you kindly raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name and your address.
My name is Tyler Danowski. I reside at 216 Church Lane, Riverhead, New York. I will be representing the homeowners of 25 Terry Place, the Constantinis. I work with Stromsky Architecture. I'm the project manager, and I'll be handling this project for the zoning variance. So just a brief description of the project. We are proposing a second floor addition over an existing single-story residence. The second floor addition will be within the existing footprint of the house as it sits, and over about 3/4 of the house to the south. So I think the addition's roughly 1,300 square feet, the second floor footprint, and the existing footprint is around 1,800 square feet. The residence is currently non-conforming, so we will be increasing the degree of non-conformity with the second floor addition, with or without the front porch. We are asking for relief for the front yard setback. This was a former Res C parcel, which has required a 40-foot front yard setback. The house currently has a 36.2-foot setback in the front. We are now zoned RA 40 with the new zoning, which requires a 50-foot yard setback. With the addition of the front porch that we are proposing, we are now requesting a 32-foot-9 front yard setback from what originally was a 36.2. So I believe we're jumping up about 3'6" closer to the road than we currently are, or the front yard rather. In addition to the front yard setback relief, we are also looking for a impervious surface relief. With this project, we are also removing a rear deck. In doing so, we are actually reducing the current impervious surface from 43.5% to 42%. The zoning code does require a 30% impervious surface for RA 40. So we're kind of doing what we can at that point to reduce a little bit. And the board has any questions or comments about the project, by all means, I'd be willing to answer them.
Looks good to me.
So the rear deck, you're removing that, is it gonna be replaced with a patio? Or?
No, they're actually going to just plant grass back in that space. They have a gravel area, which they're going to kind of use if you were to set up a dining table. Yeah, that all stays.
Again, anyone else to be heard on this matter? Let's have a reading.
I move the appeal of 2023-02 of Paula Constantini, 25 Terry Place, Riverhead. Tax map number is 600-110-2-11. It's located in the RA 40 zoning district. For variances and relief from chapter 30111, where the proposed front setback is 32 foot 9 inches and the minimum required is 50 feet. Chapter 301-11 to reduce the existing impervious surface from 43 to 42%, which exceeds the allowable 30%. Be approved in accordance with applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, filed with the building inspector.
Second?
All right. Mr. Zawiski.
Aye.
Mr. Bonds.
Aye.
Mr. Gazillo.
Aye.
And I vote aye. So the appeal has been granted. Take it from there.
Thank you very much. I
What's your
appreciate
last
it.
name again?
Danowski.
How you related to Peter?
I'm not directly related to Peter.
You're a good
Your
dude.
father's
Go
Larry.
ahead.
Tell
Is
people
your
you
dad
are,
Larry?
will help you.
Yeah, my father's Larry, yes.
And Donna's your mother.
Donna's my mother, yes.
So that's where you come from.
Yeah. I work with Peter once in a while, but I can't say I'm related.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That's allowed.
Well, your father did all the flooring in my house, that's all I gotta say. And he did a great job. He did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks for
Have a
coming.
good night.
Good night, folks.
Okay, Appeal 2023-003, Patricia Snyder, 20 Corwell Avenue, Riverhead, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 600-130-2-16.2, RA 40 zoning, for variances and or relief from Chapter 301-11, where proposed side setback abutting side street is 21.3 feet, minimum is 50 feet.
And if you kindly raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name and your address.
Patricia Snyder, 20 Corwell Avenue, Riverhead, New York.
You have the floor, young lady.
I have the floor, thank you. I'm looking for a variance for an addition, a 20 by 20 foot addition of the south side of my house towards Madison Street, which would have a 21 foot 3 inch setback, and the required is 50 feet.
Okay.
Oh, that's easy.
It's a nice little spot down there. Is there anyone in opposition to this matter?
Not even my neighbor.
Anyone on,
You're okay? I'm okay. Then we're gonna go.
anyone on Zoom? There's a Ritter on Zoom and there's a Zoe Cray. Nobody be heard? Let's have a reading.
Mr. Chairman, regarding appeal number 2023-003, I move that the appeal of Patricia Schneider, 20 Corwell Avenue, Riverhead, SCTM number 600-130-02-16.2, RA40 zoning variance and/or relief from Chapter 301-11 with proposed side setback abutting side street is 21.3 feet, minimum is 50 feet, be approved in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
I second.
All right, Mr. Zawiski, down in Florida, the waves still coming in?
They are.
Yeah, thanks. All right, Mrs. Zawiski's a yes. Mr. Bonds?
Aye.
Mrs. Grzillo?
Aye.
Grzillo. And I vote aye, so your appeal has been granted. Best of luck with your...
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, I'd like to
Good luck
make a
to you, Pat.
motion for appeal number 2020-024, Patricia Panchek, to be reopened. Do I hear a motion?
What meeting, Mr. Chairman?
At the next meeting.
Really, you're gonna burden us with every, no, I'm only kidding. Second. Roll call.
Okay. Mr. Gazillo.
Aye.
Mr. Zawiski.
Aye.
Mr. Barnes.
Aye.
And I vote aye. So,
Okay, that's.
young
great.
lady, is there anything you want to...
Ma'am, have you been helped?
I think she's just observing. How about we approve the minutes, Fred?
Yes, we're going to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Excuse me, do you want it, young lady out there?
Why
Are
is
you
that
here for
from?
anything? You're just hanging out?
Okay.
You should have brought some popcorn and a soda or
That's
two,
nice
or
to
a
know.
beer, maybe, I don't know.
You can stay home, watch it on TV.
Thanks for having confidence in us.
Thank you for stopping by. Anyway, we got the minutes from last meeting.
Yeah, we just did that.
We did the pan check.
Take care of that.
Let's hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. What was that?
What'd you say?